Welcome to this new video. So we will talk about data analytics on a real energy use case. We will talk how to fusion data, use a clustering machine learning algorithm, detect peak of consumption, and use ELK as dashboards. In this section, we will merge three different data sources. As you can see, we are importing data from different S3 buckets. The three sources of data are the consumption of electricity, the holidays, and the pricing. In the last task, we will merge all of this information and create an output in HTML format so you can visualize it. Let's execute it. Now we are in the scheduler portal where we can visualize the workflow execution in real time. On the right side, you can see the console output that is streaming down to the portal. We can visualize the inputs of each data sources. First, the data consumption of electricity. Then we can see the holidays. And finally, we can see the pricing. The output that we will see now is a combination of all the data sources. In this new section, we will apply a clustering algorithm onto the data that we previously merged. You can see the traditional structure of a machine learning algorithm, and we are specifying the URL of the merged data and the number of clusters we want to see. Now we are back in the scheduler portal to visualize the workflow execution and stream the logs from the different machines. Let's wait for it. And we can visualize what we set as an input. And we can visualize the output with the different categories created in the prediction column. Now let's detect peak of consumption of different users, which is a key information for the industry. We will use a replicate control here to actually for each user apply the same process which will detect the peaks. We will use here the first 5 users and we will get in input the same CSV file that we created previously. We are back in the scheduler portal where we can visualize the real-time execution of the workflow. On the left side, we will see how the replication control works with the duplication of the process task for the 5 different users. On the resource manager, you can visualize the consumption of the CPU nodes in orange here. And we can visualize some logs on the right side, and once it's completed, we created a nice chart so that you can see the consumption peaks for different users. So there you go. On the left side, the different ID of the user, and on the right side, the different peak of consumption. Now let's use ELK to analyze electricity consumption. In this workflow, the first 3 tasks, Elasticsearch, Logstash, and Kibana, are actually starting the service. The Linux task is actually feeding Logstash with the input data from the CSV file, and wait for stop validation is actually a task that is putting the workflow in pause so that all the services are running properly, and wait for validation to actually close all the services. So in the scheduler portal, we will visualize the execution of the workflow and the instantiation of all the services. In the automation dashboard portal, we can visualize all the services currently running. And when they're actually running, we can go directly in the endpoint of Kibana to visualize what's going on in the data sources. Right now there is no data because Logstash is not fed yet. Now we can visualize the data being fed, and in Kibana, if we refresh the page, we'll see a new document connected. So we select the document and we select the time filter. Now we prepared a dashboard earlier, so we'll just import it into Kibana using the traditional method. We can now better analyze data information in real time with Kibana with those dashboards, showing you the consumption, the top consumers, number of consumers, who is consuming the most, etc. Everything that could be related to your actual use case. Now let's go back to proactive to actually close all the services with a simple click here. and we can visualize in the different dashboards here in the automation portal or in the scheduler portal all the processes running, and in a few minutes everything will be closed. Thank you for watching this video. Do not hesitate to contact us at contact@activion.com.